Picture this. You're standing in front of the mirror one morning, maybe after a shower, and you notice something that makes your heart skip a beat. One of your testicles, it looks smaller than it used to. A quiet worry creeps in. Is this normal? Does it mean something's wrong with your testosterone, your fertility, or maybe even your manhood? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, you're not alone. For years, men have been told that bigger testicles mean more masculinity, more strength, or better chances of starting a family. But here's the truth, and it might surprise you. What you've heard isn't always what science tells us. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on what the size of your testicles really says about your health. And trust me, it's not what you might expect. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, an 85-year-old physician who's been practicing medicine for nearly 50 years. From my clinic in Chicago to this YouTube channel, I've had the privilege of helping over 10,000 patients navigate the most personal and sensitive health concerns, especially those tied to intimacy and vitality in our later years. My mission has always been simple: to provide clear, honest, science-based answers with a touch of compassion. I know these topics can feel awkward or even scary to talk about, but I'm here to make sense of it all, so you can feel confident and empowered about your health. Let me tell you about John, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Ohio who walked into my office a few years ago. John was the kind of man who always had a warm smile and a quick joke. But that day, his eyes carried a weight. He sat down, his voice low, and said, "Dr. Cole, I've noticed one of my testicles seems smaller. Is something wrong with me?" I could hear the worry in his voice, fear that this change meant his testosterone was fading, that his fertility was gone, or that his connection with his wife was at risk. His confidence had taken a hit, and it was starting to strain the intimacy in his marriage. John's story isn't unique. So many men carry these worries in silence, unsure if what they're noticing is normal or a sign of something serious. The good news: John found answers. And so can you. Today, we're going to have an open, honest conversation about what the size of your testicles really means. I promise you 3 key takeaways. First, you'll understand the truth about how testicle size relates to fertility and testosterone. No more guessing or falling for old myths. Second, you'll learn the warning signs of shrinking testicles and what steps to take if you're concerned. And third, I'll share simple, natural ways to keep your testicular health strong, so you can feel vital and confident at any age. We're addressing the concerns that matter most to you: fears about fertility, confusion about testosterone, and how to maintain your energy and intimacy as you age. Here's what makes this conversation exciting. We'll uncover the surprising truth about testicle size and testosterone. It's not what you think. We'll also talk about a common condition that can shrink your testicles and how to spot it before it becomes a problem. And best of all, I'll give you easy lifestyle changes you can start today to boost your testicular function and feel your best. If you've ever felt uncertain about changes in your body or wondered if they're normal, you're in the right place. Let's clear up the confusion together. Before we dive into the science, I want to ask you something. Have you ever noticed a change in your body and wondered if it's something to act on? Maybe you felt a dip in energy, a shift in your confidence, or even a change in your intimate life. Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every one, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, let's get started by exploring the basics of how your testicles work, so you can understand exactly what's going on in your body. Let's start by picturing something small, but incredibly powerful: a bustling factory, no bigger than a walnut, working tirelessly day and night to keep you healthy, vibrant, and ready for life. That's what your testicles are: small but mighty, with 2 critical production lines that play a massive role in your health as a man. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and today, I want to take you inside this factory to understand exactly what it does, why it matters, and how it keeps you feeling like yourself. Whether you're 55, 65, or well into your 70s, knowing how your body works is the first step to taking charge of your vitality. So, let's open the doors to this factory and see what's going on inside. Your testicles, tucked safely in the scrotum, are the unsung heroes of your reproductive and hormonal health. They're small, about the size of a walnut or a golf ball, but don't let their size fool you. These glands are responsible for two essential jobs: producing sperm and making testosterone. Think of them as a factory with two production lines, each with a distinct purpose, working in harmony to keep your body functioning at its best. The first production line, which takes up about 95% of the testicle's volume, is all about creating sperm. The second, a smaller but equally vital line, produces testosterone, the hormone that fuels your energy, strength, and drive. Together, these two processes are the cornerstone of your sexual health and overall well-being. Let's dive into the sperm production line first, because it's the heart of what your testicles do. This process, called spermatogenesis, happens in tiny coiled tubes inside the testicles called seminiferous tubules. These tubules are like a network of microscopic assembly lines, churning out millions of sperm every single day. It's an incredible feat when you think about it. Your body is constantly creating new life, even if you're not planning to start a family. But here's the catch: this production line is sensitive. It needs the right conditions to work properly. And one of the most important is temperature. Your testicles hang outside the body for a reason. They need to stay about 2 to 4 degrees Celsius cooler than your core body temperature. That's why the scrotum is designed to adjust, pulling closer to the body when it's cold and relaxing when it's warm. Like a natural thermostat, keeping the factory running smoothly. Now, let's shift to the second production line, testosterone. This is where things get really interesting. Testosterone is produced by a small group of cells in the testicles called Leydig cells, which make up just about 5% of the testicle's volume. These cells are like the master chemists of your body, crafting the hormone that powers your libido, builds muscle mass, and keeps your energy levels high. It's the spark that makes you feel strong, confident, and ready to take on the day. But here's something fascinating. The production of testosterone doesn't happen in isolation. It's triggered by a signal from your brain, specifically from the pituitary gland, which releases luteinizing hormone, or LH. This hormone acts like a manager walking into the factory, giving the Leydig cells the green light to start producing testosterone. Without that signal, the production line slows down, no matter how healthy the testicles are. Let me tell you about Robert, a 62-year-old from Texas who came to me a couple of years ago. Robert was a lively guy, a former mechanic who loved tinkering with vintage cars and spending weekends with his grandkids. But when he sat down in my office, his usual spark was dim. He leaned forward and said, "Dr. Cole, I'm just so tired all the time. I'm worried my body's giving up on me. Maybe my testicles aren't working right." I could see the concern in his eyes, the fear that his factory was shutting down. He thought his low energy meant his testosterone was tanking, or that something was seriously wrong. After a thorough checkup, including a blood test, we found his testosterone levels were actually normal. The real culprit's chronic stress from a recent move and a diet heavy in processed foods. With some simple changes, which we'll talk about later in this video, Robert got his energy back and felt like himself again. His story is a reminder that our bodies are complex, and sometimes the signs we notice aren't what they seem. The science backs this up. Research shows that spermatogenesis, the sperm production line, relies on that cool, stable environment. A 2016 study in the Journal of Andrology confirmed that even a slight increase in scrotal temperature, like from tight clothing or prolonged sitting, can disrupt sperm production. On the testosterone side, studies, like one from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology in 2018, show that Leydig cells depend on luteinizing hormone to function properly. If that signal from the brain is weak, say, due to stress or poor sleep, testosterone production can dip, even if your testicles are perfectly healthy. These findings remind us that the testicle factory is a delicate balance of biology and environment, and small changes can make a big difference. Have you ever noticed a change in your energy, your drive, or maybe even your confidence? Don't worry if you have, it's more common than you think, and we're going to unpack what it all means. The testicles may be small, but their role in your health is enormous. Understanding how they work is like getting a blueprint to your body's vitality. Now that we've got a clear picture of what your testicles do producing sperm and testosterone, let's take the next step. It's time to explore how the size of your testicles relates to fertility, and whether those old ideas about bigger is better hold any truth. Stay with me, because the answers might surprise you. Let's dive into a question that's crossed many men's minds. Whether they admit it or not, could the size of your testicles hold the key to your fertility? It's a topic that can spark curiosity, maybe even a little worry, especially if you've noticed changes in your body or you're hoping to start a family. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I'm here to guide you through the science with clarity and care, so you can understand what's really going on. Your testicles play a huge role in fertility, and their size can tell us something important, but not everything. So, let's explore how the size of your testicles relates to sperm production and what it means for your ability to conceive. Picture your testicles as the engine room of fertility. Inside each one, there's a network of tiny coiled tubes called seminiferous tubules, working around the clock to produce millions of sperm every day. These tubules make up about 95% of your testicles' volume, so it makes sense that their size matters. Generally, larger testicles have more of these tubules, which means they can churn out more sperm. It's like a bigger factory with more assembly lines, capable of producing more goods. Normal testicle size varies, typically about 3 to 5 centimeters long, roughly the size of a walnut or a small plum. But if your testicles are smaller than average, it could be a sign that your sperm production is lower than usual. Now, that doesn't mean you're infertile, but it's a clue that's worth paying attention to, especially if you're trying to conceive. Let's talk about something that can affect this process, a condition called varicocele. Imagine the veins in your scrotum like a cooling system for your testicle factory. A varicocele happens when those veins get enlarged, like tangled hoses, causing the scrotum to heat up. Sperm production is incredibly sensitive to temperature. It needs to stay a few degrees cooler than your body's core temperature. When a varicocele raises the heat, it can slow down or even damage the sperm-making process, sometimes causing the testicle to shrink slightly. This isn't just a theory. It's something I've seen in my practice time and again. And it's one of the most common causes of reduced fertility in men. Let me share a story about Tom, a 58-year-old from Florida who came to my clinic a few years back. Tom and his partner had been trying to have a child for over a year, but nothing was happening. He was a vibrant guy, a landscaper who loved working outdoors, but he was starting to feel defeated. During his visit, he mentioned that one testicle felt smaller than the other, and he was worried it was holding them back. I could see the frustration in his eyes, the quiet fear that he was letting his partner down. After a physical exam and some tests, we found he had a varicocele. The enlarged veins were warming up his scrotum, reducing his sperm count and causing slight testicular shrinkage. We discussed options, and Tom opted for a minor surgery to correct the varicocele, paired with some lifestyle changes like eating more zinc-rich foods and avoiding tight clothing. Within months, his sperm count improved, and a year later, he and his partner welcomed a healthy baby girl. Tom's face lit up when he told me, "Dr. Cole, I didn't think this was possible for us." His story shows that understanding what's happening in your body can open doors to solutions. The science backs up Tom's experience. A 2018 study published in Fertility and Sterility looked at men with varicocele and found that they had a 20 to 30% reduction in sperm count compared to men without the condition. The good news. In many cases, treating the varicocele, whether through surgery or other methods, can reverse the damage and boost sperm production. This study also noted that testicular shrinkage caused by varicoceles is often subtle, so you might not notice it without a doctor's exam. That's why paying attention to your body and getting regular checkups is so important, especially if you're planning to start or grow your family. Have you ever noticed one testicle feels a little different, maybe smaller, softer, or just not quite right? It's easy to brush it off, but it might be worth a quick check with your doctor. Changes like these don't always mean something serious, but they can be a signal that your fertility factory needs a little tuning. And if you're not trying to conceive, understanding this can still give you peace of mind about your overall health. What we've learned here is that the size of your testicles is a strong indicator of your fertility potential. Larger testicles often mean more sperm production, while smaller ones might suggest a challenge. But size isn't the whole story. And that's what we'll explore next as we dive into some common myths and realities about fertility. Stay with me, because there's more to uncover about what your body's telling you. Let's clear up a big misunderstanding that's been floating around for years. The idea that bigger testicles automatically mean you're more fertile. It's a myth that's easy to believe, especially when you hear locker room talk or see something online that makes you wonder about your own body. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I'm here to set the record straight with a warm, honest conversation about fertility. The truth is, fertility isn't just about the size of your testicles, it's about so much more. So, let's debunk some myths and get to the realities that can give you clarity and confidence. Whether you're thinking about starting a family or just want to understand your body better, you might have heard the saying, bigger is better, tossed around when it comes to testicles and fertility. It seems logical. Larger testicles have more space for sperm production, so they must guarantee you can father a child. Right. Not quite. While it's true that larger testicles often produce more sperm because they house more seminiferous tubules, fertility isn't just about quantity. The quality of your sperm, how well they move, their shape, and their ability to reach and fertilize an egg is just as critical, if not more so. Think of it like a team of runners in a race. Having a lot of runners is great, but if they're slow or can't find the finish line, the numbers don't matter as much. Sperm motility, which is how effectively sperm swim, and morphology, which is their shape, play a huge role in whether conception happens. So, the idea that bigger testicles are a surefire ticket to fertility is a myth we need to put to rest. Another common worry is that smaller testicles mean you're automatically infertile. I've had so many patients come to me with this fear, and it's understandable. It's a sensitive topic that can feel deeply personal. But here's the reassuring truth: small testicles don't always mean infertility. There are conditions, like the varicocele we talked about earlier, that can reduce sperm production and cause smaller testicles, but many of these are treatable. Hormonal imbalances, like low levels of follicle-stimulating hormone FSH, can also affect sperm production, but these can often be addressed with medical guidance. The key is not to jump to conclusions based on size alone. Your fertility is a complex picture, and there's a simple way to get a clearer view, which I'll share in just a moment. Let me tell you about Mike, a 60-year-old from California who came to my clinic last year. Mike was a retired firefighter, full of energy and always up for a hike with his wife. But when they decided to try for a late-in-life baby, he started worrying. He'd noticed his testicles seemed smaller than he remembered, and it gnawed at him. "Dr. Cole," he said, his voice quiet but urgent. "Does this mean I can't have kids anymore?" I could see the weight of that question in his eyes, the fear that his dreams of fatherhood might be out of reach. We ordered a semen analysis. a straightforward test that looks at sperm count, motility, and shape. To Mike's relief, the results came back normal. His sperm quality was strong, despite his smaller testicles. It turned out that his size was just his natural variation, not a barrier to fertility. With that knowledge, Mike and his wife felt a renewed sense of hope, and they're still on their journey to parenthood. Mike's story shows how easy it is to let myths cloud our confidence and how a simple test can bring clarity. The science supports this. A 2020 study in the Journal of Urology dug into what really matters for fertility and found that sperm motility is often a bigger factor than testicular volume. Men with smaller testicles but high-quality sperm, meaning good motility and normal shape, had just as much success with conception as those with larger testicles. The study also highlighted that conditions like varicocele or hormonal issues can lower sperm production. But treatments like surgery or hormone therapy can often improve outcomes. This tells us that fertility isn't a one-size-fits-all equation. Size gives us a clue, but it's the quality of the sperm that often seals the deal. If you're thinking about your fertility, maybe you're planning a family, or just curious about your health, don't let myths make you feel stuck. A semen analysis is the best way to get answers. It's a quick, painless test done at a doctor's office or fertility clinic, and it can tell you exactly how your sperm are performing. Have you or your partner ever wondered about your fertility potential? It's more common than you think to have these questions, especially as you get older. If it's on your mind, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking, and it might help others feel less alone. What we've learned here is that fertility is about more than just testicle size. It's about the quality of your sperm and the health of your reproductive system. Next, we're going to shift gears and tackle another big topic: testosterone. Does testicle size really tell us anything about your hormone levels? Stay with me, because the answer might surprise you. There's a belief out there that's hard to shake: the idea that bigger testicles mean more testosterone pumping through your veins, making you feel strong, energized, and, well, more like a man. It's the kind of thing you might overhear in a gym or see in a late-night internet search, and it can make you wonder about your own body. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I'm here to have an honest, heart-to-heart talk with you about what testosterone really means for your health and why the size of your testicles might not tell the story you think it does. This is a topic that hits close to home for so many men, especially as we age. So let's dive in with curiosity and clarity to uncover the truth. When it comes to testosterone, it's easy to assume that bigger testicles would produce more of this vital hormone. After all, they're the source, right? But here's where things get interesting. Testosterone isn't made by the whole testicle. It's produced by a small but mighty group of cells called Leydig cells. These cells are like the master craftsmen in your testicular factory, but they only take up about 5% of the testicle's volume. The other 95% is busy with sperm production, as we talked about earlier. So, the size of your testicles is mostly about how many sperm-making tubules you have, not how much testosterone you're producing. It's a bit like judging a chef by the size of their kitchen. A small kitchen can still turn out a gourmet meal if the chef knows what they're doing. What really matters for testosterone is how well those Leydig cells are working, not how much space they take up. If your Leydig cells are active and efficient, they can churn out plenty of testosterone, even if your testicles are on the smaller side. Think of it like a high-performance engine. It doesn't need to be big to pack a punch. On the flip side, larger testicles don't guarantee high testosterone. If the Leydig cells aren't functioning well, you could have bigger testicles but still have lower testosterone levels. It's the efficiency of those cells, not the overall size, that determines how much of that energy-giving, libido-boosting hormone is flowing through your body. Let me share a story about George, a 70-year-old from New York who came to see me a couple of years ago. George was a retired accountant, a man who loved his morning walks in Central Park and spoiling his grandkids with ice cream. But when he sat down in my office, his usual warmth was overshadowed by worry. He confided, "Dr. Cole, I've noticed my testicles seem smaller, and I don't feel like myself anymore. Am I losing my edge?" I could hear the doubt in his voice, the fear that smaller testicles meant he was less of a man. It's a concern I've heard from so many patients, and it's often tied to myths about size and masculinity. We ran a blood test to check his testosterone levels, and to George's surprise, they were perfectly normal for his age. His low energy and confidence dip were tied to poor sleep and a stressful family situation, not his testicles. With a few lifestyle tweaks like better sleep habits and some stress relief techniques, George was back to his vibrant self, feeling strong and connected to his life again. His story is a powerful reminder that what we assume about our bodies isn't always the truth. The science backs this up in a big way. A 2019 study published in Endocrinology looked at healthy men across a range of ages and found no direct link between testicular volume and testosterone levels. Men with smaller testicles often had testosterone levels just as robust as those with larger ones, as long as their Leydig cells were functioning well. The study pointed out that testosterone production depends on signals from the brain, specifically luteinizing hormone, which tells the Leydig cells to get to work. If those signals are strong and the Leydig cells are healthy, size doesn't matter. This research is a game changer because it challenges the old idea that bigger is always better when it comes to hormones. Have you ever wondered if a dip in your energy or drive might be tied to your hormones? It's a question so many men ask themselves, especially as life gets busier or the years add up. Don't worry if you felt this way. It's completely normal to have those moments of doubt, and I'm here to help you sort through them. What we've learned is that the size of your testicles doesn't tell the full story about your testosterone. It's all about the efficiency of those hardworking Leydig cells. Next, we're going to explore what really affects your testosterone levels and how you can tell if they're out of balance. Stay with me, because this is where we start to connect the dots. If the size of your testicles isn't the key to your testosterone levels, then what is? It's a question that can feel like a puzzle, especially when you're noticing changes in your energy, drive, or even your mood. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I'm here to walk you through this with a warm, honest conversation, like we're sitting down together over a cup of coffee. Testosterone is the hormone that keeps you feeling strong, focused, and connected to your vitality. But it's influenced by so much more than just your body's anatomy. Let's explore what really controls your testosterone and how you can understand what's happening in your body, so you can take charge of your health with confidence. Testosterone production is a delicate dance, and it's affected by things you might not expect, things like stress, your weight, and how well you're sleeping. These everyday factors can have a bigger impact on your hormone levels than the size of your testicles ever could. Let's start with stress. When you're under pressure, whether it's from work, family, or just the weight of daily life, your body produces a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is like a fire alarm in your system, and when it's blaring, it can drown out the signals that tell your testicles to produce testosterone. Over time, chronic stress can suppress testosterone, leaving you feeling tired, irritable, or less interested in intimacy. Then there's obesity. Carrying extra weight, especially around your midsection, can increase the production of a protein that binds up testosterone, making less of it available to do its job. And sleep. It's not just about feeling rested. Your body does most of its testosterone production during deep sleep, so skimping on those 7 to 8 hours a night can quietly sap your hormone levels. Beyond lifestyle factors, there are medical conditions that can disrupt testosterone production. One is primary testicular failure, where the Leydig cells, the ones responsible for making testosterone, aren't working as well as they should. This can happen due to aging, injury, or certain health conditions. Another issue is low levels of luteinizing hormone LH or follicle-stimulating hormone FSH, which come from the pituitary gland in your brain. These hormones are like the conductors of an orchestra, signaling your testicles to produce testosterone and sperm. If the signals are weak, say, because of a pituitary issue or chronic health problems, your testosterone output can drop. The important thing to know is that these conditions aren't always obvious, and guessing based on how you feel or what you notice about your body isn't enough to get the full picture. Let me tell you about Sam, a 65-year-old from Arizona who came to my clinic last spring. Sam was a former park ranger, a guy who loved hiking the desert trails with his wife and teaching his grandkids about the stars. But when he sat down with me, his usual enthusiasm was gone. "Dr. Cole," he said, his voice heavy. "I've noticed my testicles seem smaller, and I just don't have the drive I used to." Is this why I'm not interested in intimacy anymore? Sam was convinced his smaller testicles were to blame for his low libido, and it was weighing on his confidence and his marriage. We did a blood test to check his testosterone levels, and sure enough, they were lower than optimal. But it wasn't his testicle size causing the issue, it was stress. Sam had been dealing with a tough year, helping his daughter through a divorce while juggling financial worries. We worked on a plan that included daily meditation to ease his stress and a diet richer in healthy fats like avocados and nuts. Within a few months, Sam's testosterone levels improved, and he told me, "I feel like I've got my spark back." His story shows how easy it is to misread your body's signals and how the right approach can make all the difference. The science is clear on this. A 2021 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that chronic stress can lead to a 15 to 20% drop in testosterone levels in men, even when their testicles are perfectly healthy. The study also showed that poor sleep and excess body fat can further suppress testosterone, sometimes by as much as 10 to 15% each. These findings highlight that your lifestyle plays a huge role in your hormone health, often more than physical traits like testicle size. But here's the key. The only reliable way to know what's going on with your testosterone is a blood test. It's a simple, quick test that measures your hormone levels and gives you a clear picture. No guesswork needed. Trying to judge your testosterone based on how you feel or what you see in the mirror is like trying to fix a car without looking under the hood. It's just not enough. Have you been feeling off lately? Maybe a bit more tired, less driven, or like your spark's just not there? It's okay to wonder if it's your hormones, and you're not alone in that. A blood test can reveal the real cause, and it's easier than you might think to get one done. If you've ever had those moments of doubt about your energy or vitality, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what's on your mind, and it might spark a conversation that helps someone else. What we've learned here is that testosterone is influenced by factors like stress, weight, and sleep, not just the size of your testicles. Next, we're going to talk about what it means if you notice your testicles shrinking, and whether it's a sign of something you need to act on. Stay with me, because this is where we start to connect the pieces. Have you ever noticed your testicles feeling a little smaller than they used to, and wondered if it's something to be concerned about? It's the kind of change that can catch you off guard, maybe spark a quiet worry that something's not right. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I'm here to walk you through this with a gentle, honest conversation, like we're sitting down together to sort through your questions. Changes in your body can feel unsettling, especially when they're in such a personal area, but understanding what's behind them can give you clarity and peace of mind. Today, we're going to explore what shrinking testicles might mean, the causes behind it, and why it's worth paying attention to. Let's dive in and uncover what your body might be trying to tell you. When you notice your testicles shrinking, it's like a little warning light flickering on your dashboard. It's not always a crisis, but it's a signal to take a closer look. There are several reasons this can happen, and I want to walk you through 6 common causes that I've seen in my practice. First, There's varicocele, which we touched on earlier. This is when the veins in your scrotum become enlarged, like a tangle of wires, raising the temperature and potentially causing the testicle to shrink over time. Next, low levels of luteinizing hormone LH or follicle-stimulating hormone FSH can play a role. These hormones, sent from your brain's pituitary gland, are like the ignition switch for testosterone and sperm production. If they're not firing properly, your testicles might produce less and gradually shrink. Then there's primary testicular failure, where the testicles themselves struggle to function, often due to aging, injury, or genetic factors. Another cause is the use of anabolic steroids, which can trick your body into thinking it has enough testosterone, shutting down natural production and leading to shrinkage. Mumps-related orchitis, a rare but serious complication from the mumps virus, can also damage testicular tissue, especially if it happened in adulthood. Finally, chronic stress and metabolic disorders, like diabetes or thyroid issues, can disrupt your hormonal balance, affecting how your testicles work and potentially reducing their size. Along with these changes, there are symptoms you might notice that go hand in hand with shrinking testicles. These are like the body's way of waving a flag to get your attention. You might feel more tired than usual, even after a good night's sleep, or notice your muscles aren't as strong as they used to be. A dip in libido can creep in, making intimacy feel less appealing. Or you might find yourself feeling down or even depressed without a clear reason. These signs don't just affect your physical health, they can weigh on your confidence, your relationships, and how you feel about yourself. If left unchecked, shrinking testicles caused by these issues can lead to bigger problems down the road, like hormonal imbalances that throw off your energy and mood, or even potential infertility if you're hoping to start or grow a family. That's why noticing these changes early and taking action is so important. Let me tell you about Bill, a 68-year-old from Illinois who came to see me a couple of years ago. Bill was a retired farmer, a man who'd spent his life working the land, always full of grit and determination. But when he walked into my office, his shoulders were slumped and his voice was quiet. "Dr. Cole," he said, "I've noticed my testicles aren't what they used to be, and I'm just so tired all the time. I don't feel like myself anymore." I could see the worry etched on his face, the fear that he was losing his vitality. We did a thorough exam and found he had a varicocele, those enlarged veins that were heating up his scrotum and causing one testicle to shrink. The good news: it was treatable. Bill opted for a minor procedure to correct the varicocele, and we paired it with some lifestyle changes, like adding more nutrient-rich foods to his diet and taking short walks to boost circulation. A few months later, Bill was back in my office, his eyes bright again. "I've got my energy back," he told me, "and I feel like I can keep up with my grandkids again." His story is proof that catching these changes early can make a world of difference. The science supports what I saw with Bill. A 2017 study in urology found that varicoceles are linked to a 10 to 15% reduction in testicular volume in affected men, often accompanied by lower sperm production and, in some cases, reduced testosterone. The study also showed that treating varicoceles, whether through surgery or other methods, can often reverse the shrinkage and restore function. Other research points to chronic stress and metabolic disorders as culprits, with studies showing that conditions like diabetes can disrupt hormone signaling, leading to testicular changes over time. These findings remind us that shrinking testicles aren't just a random quirk, they're often a sign of something deeper that needs attention. Have you noticed any changes below the belt, maybe a difference in size or a shift in how you're feeling? It's easy to push those thoughts aside, but don't ignore them. Your body's signals are worth listening to, and a quick check with your doctor can give you answers. If you've ever wondered about changes like these, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what's on your mind, and it might help someone else feel less alone. What we've learned here is that shrinking testicles can point to real issues, from varicoceles to stress, that affect your health in meaningful ways. Next, we're going to talk about what you can do if you're noticing these changes, and how to take action to protect your vitality. Stay with me, because there's hope and practical steps ahead. If you've noticed your testicles seem smaller and it's got you worried, you're not alone. And I'm here to help you figure out what to do next. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I want to talk to you like a friend who's been through these conversations with thousands of patients. That little twinge of concern you're feeling, it's normal. And it's a sign you're paying attention to your body. Shrinking testicles can feel like a personal alarm bell. But the good news is that there are clear, practical steps you can take to understand what's happening and protect your health. Let's walk through how to take action, so you can move forward with confidence and peace of mind. The first thing I want you to know is that judging your health by the size of your testicles alone is like trying to guess the weather. By looking out one window, it doesn't give you the full picture. If you're concerned about what shrinking might mean for your testosterone or fertility, the best step is to get tested. A blood test for testosterone is a simple, quick way to measure your hormone levels. It's done with a small blood draw at your doctor's office, and it tells you exactly what's going on. No guesswork needed. If you're thinking about fertility, whether you're planning a family or just curious, a semen analysis is the gold standard. This test, done at a clinic, checks your sperm count, how well they move, and their shape, giving you a clear read on your reproductive health. These tests are straightforward, and they can lift that weight of uncertainty off your shoulders. Another key step is to make regular checkups a part of your routine, especially if you're over 40. Think of these visits like a tune-up for your car. They catch small issues before they become big problems. During a checkup, your doctor can do a physical exam to feel for changes in your testicles and may recommend a PSA test, which checks for prostate health. Catching issues early, like a varicocele or hormonal imbalance, can make all the difference. For example, varicocele surgery, a minimally invasive procedure, can correct those enlarged veins that cause shrinkage and boost both fertility and testosterone in many cases. If a blood test shows low testosterone due to something like a pituitary issue, hormone therapy might be an option to restore your energy and drive. These solutions are more common and effective than you might think, and they start with taking that first step to see your doctor. Let me tell you about Frank, a 63-year-old from Michigan who came to my clinic a few years back. Frank was a retired school bus driver, always quick with a laugh and a story about his fishing trips. But when he sat down with me, his usual cheer was gone. "Dr. Cole," he said, "I've been ignoring this for a while, but my testicles seem smaller, and I'm just not myself." He'd been feeling sluggish, his mood was low, and he was worried he'd let it go too long. Frank had brushed off the changes, hoping they'd go away, but they were affecting his confidence and his connection with his wife. We ordered a blood test, which showed low luteinizing hormone LH, the signal from the brain that tells the testicles to produce testosterone. That explained the shrinkage and his symptoms. We started him on hormone therapy, tailored to his needs, and paired it with some lifestyle changes like better sleep and stress management. A few months later, Frank was back, his grin wide. "I feel like I've turned back the clock," he told me. His energy and mood were back, and he was enjoying life again. Frank's story shows how taking action, even after hesitation, can bring back your vitality. The science backs this up. A 2022 study in andrology found that early intervention for varicoceles restored fertility in 70% of men, often reversing testicular shrinkage and improving sperm production. Another study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology in 2020 showed that hormone therapy for low LH or FSH can boost testosterone levels in over 80% of men with pituitary-related issues, often within weeks. These findings tell us that shrinking testicles don't have to be a dead end. There are effective treatments out there, and they start with getting the right tests and talking to your doctor. Have you had a checkup lately? Or maybe you've been putting it off. Regular visits can save you so much worry, and they're easier than you might think. If you've been wondering about changes in your body or how they might affect your health, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and it might encourage someone else to take that step. What we've learned here is that shrinking testicles are a signal worth exploring, and tests like a blood draw or semen analysis can give you the answers you need. Next, we're going to talk about prevention simple. Natural ways to keep your testicles healthy and your vitality strong. Stay with me, because these steps are easier than you think and can make a big difference. Now that we've explored what shrinking testicles might mean and how to address it, let's talk about something empowering: how to keep your testicle factory running smoothly. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I want to have a warm, heartfelt conversation with you, like we're sharing a moment over a cup of tea. Your testicles are working hard every day to keep your hormones and fertility in check. And with a few simple, natural steps, you can support them to keep you feeling strong, vibrant, and connected to your life. These are changes you can start today, easy, practical, and backed by science that can make a real difference in your health. So, let's dive into how you can nurture your body to keep that factory humming along. One of the most powerful ways to support your testicles is through what you eat. Your diet is like the fuel you put into your factory. It needs the right ingredients to run at its best. Start with zinc, a mineral that's like a spark plug for sperm production and testosterone health. You can find it in foods like oysters, lean beef, pumpkin seeds, and even dark chocolate. Yes, a little treat can be good for you. Omega-3 fatty acids are another key player, helping reduce inflammation and support healthy cell function. Think salmon, walnuts, or chia seeds sprinkled on your morning oatmeal. Vitamin D is also crucial, acting like sunlight for your hormones. You can get it from eggs, fortified dairy, or just spending 15 minutes outside on a sunny day. And don't overlook fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi. They feed the good bacteria in your gut, which supports overall hormonal balance. On the flip side, there are things to avoid. Plastics, especially those with chemicals like BPA, can mimic hormones and disrupt your system. So opt for glass or stainless steel containers when you can. Alcohol, especially in excess, can dampen testosterone production, so keep it moderate. A glass of wine here and there is fine, but don't overdo it. And industrial soy products, like heavily processed soy milk or tofu, can sometimes interfere with hormone levels. So choose whole, minimally processed foods instead. Beyond diet, your lifestyle is like the maintenance crew for your testicle factory. Sleep is non-negotiable. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night. It's during those deep, restful hours that your body does most of its testosterone production, like a night shift that keeps the factory humming. Tight underwear might seem like a small thing, but it can raise scrotal temperature, which isn't great for sperm production. Try looser options like boxers, especially at night, to give your testicles room to breathe. Exercise is another game changer. A mix of weight training, like lifting light dumbbells, and cardio, like brisk walking or cycling, boosts circulation and supports hormone health. Aim for 30 minutes. Most days, it doesn't have to be intense, just consistent. And let's talk about stress, which can be a silent saboteur. Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, which can suppress testosterone and sperm production. Find a stress buster that works for you. Maybe it's a quiet walk, a hobby like gardening, or even a few minutes of meditation each morning. These small habits add up, helping your body stay balanced and your testicles thrive. Let me tell you about Henry, a 66-year-old from Colorado who came to my clinic last year. Henry was a retired librarian, a gentle soul who loved hiking with his wife and reading by the fireplace. But he was struggling. "Dr. Cole," he said, his voice soft. "I feel like I'm letting my wife down. Our intimacy isn't what it used to be, and I'm worried my body's not up to par." He'd noticed his energy was low, and he was concerned about his fertility and overall vitality. We ran tests and found his sperm quality was lower than ideal, likely due to a diet low in key nutrients and a stressful year. We worked on a plan. Henry started eating zinc-rich foods like pumpkin seeds and beef, added salmon to his dinners for omega-3s, and committed to a daily 20-minute walk. He also swapped his tight briefs for boxers and began practicing deep breathing to ease stress. Within a few months, a follow-up semen analysis showed his sperm motility had improved, and Henry beamed as he told me, "My wife and I feel closer than ever." His story shows how small, intentional changes can rekindle your health and your relationships. The science backs this up. A 2020 study in Nutrients found that zinc supplementation improved sperm motility by 25% in men with low levels, and it also supported testosterone production. Another study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology in 2019 showed that 7 to 8 hours of sleep boosted testosterone by up to 15% in men over 50, while stress reduction techniques, like meditation, lowered cortisol and helped hormones rebound. These findings remind us that your testicle factory thrives on simple, everyday choices, good food, restful sleep, and a little movement can go a long way. What's one healthy food you love that might support your health? Maybe it's a handful of walnuts or a sunny-side-up egg drop. A comment below and share, because it might inspire someone else. These steps: eating nutrient-rich foods, prioritizing sleep, choosing looser clothing, staying active, and managing stress are like giving your testicles a tune-up to keep them working their best. Next, we're going to add some targeted exercises to this mix. Simple moves you can do at home to boost blood flow and support your vitality. Stay with me, because these are easy and powerful ways to feel your best. Did you know that a few simple exercises can give your testicles a boost by improving blood flow to the entire pelvic area? It's like giving your body a gentle nudge to keep everything running smoothly. And I'm excited to share how you can do this at home. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I want to talk to you like a trusted friend, guiding you through some easy, practical moves that can make a real difference in your energy, vitality, and even your intimate life. These exercises are straightforward, low effort, and designed to fit into your daily routine, no matter if you're 55 or 75. Let's explore how you can support your testicular health with movements that are kind to your body and backed by science. One of the best ways to enhance blood flow to your pelvic region is through exercises that strengthen the muscles around your testicles and improve circulation. Let's start with squats, a classic move that's like a power-up for your pelvic muscles. Squats work the large muscles in your legs and glutes, which increases blood flow to the entire pelvic area, including your testicles. They're simple to do. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. Lower your body as if sitting back into a chair, keeping your knees over your ankles, and then stand back up. Aim for 3 sets of 10 squats each day, about 5 minutes total. You don't need to go deep or fast. Just focus on smooth, controlled movements. If you're new to exercise or have joint concerns, start with shallow squats and hold on to a sturdy chair for support. This gentle move helps wake up your circulation, keeping your testicular factory humming. Next up are Kegel exercises, which are like a secret weapon for your pelvic floor. These muscles, which sit at the base of your pelvis, support your bladder, testicles, and even your ability to control ejaculation. To do a Kegel, imagine you're stopping the flow of urine midstream. That's the muscle you're targeting. Squeeze it for 5 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds, and repeat 10 times. You can do this anywhere, sitting at your desk, watching TV, or even waiting at a stoplight. Try for 2 or 3 sets a day, and you'll be strengthening muscles that boost blood flow and improve intimacy. The beauty of Kegels is that they're discreet and require no equipment, making them perfect for any schedule. If you're not sure you're doing them right, don't worry, it takes a little practice. And I'll share a tip in a moment to help you get the hang of it. Another fantastic option is swimming. A low-impact exercise that's kind to your joints while giving your whole body a circulation boost. Swimming engages your core, legs, and pelvic muscles, sending oxygen-rich blood to your testicles and surrounding areas. Aim for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, at a pace that feels comfortable, whether it's a leisurely breaststroke or a gentle lap in the pool. If swimming isn't your thing, walking or cycling can work just as well. The key is to get your heart pumping without straining your body. For those with joint issues, like arthritis, swimming is especially great because it supports your body weight while still delivering big benefits. Whatever you choose, start slow and listen to your body to avoid overexertion. If you have knee or hip problems, check with your doctor before starting any new exercise to make sure it's safe for you. Let me tell you about Jim, a 69-year-old from Nevada who came to see me last fall. Jim was a retired carpenter, a man who loved building birdhouses and dancing with his wife at local community events. But he was struggling with low energy and felt his intimate connection with his wife was fading. "Dr. Cole," he said, his voice tinged with frustration. "I want to feel like I used to, but I'm just not there." After a checkup, we ruled out major issues, but I suggested adding Kegels and swimming to his routine to boost pelvic blood flow. Jim started with 2 sets of 10 Kegels a day and joined a local pool for twice weekly swims. Within weeks, he noticed a difference: more energy, better mood, and a renewed spark in his marriage. "My wife says I'm dancing like we're newlyweds again," he told me with a grin. Jim's story shows how small, consistent efforts can bring back that sense of vitality. The science behind these exercises is solid. A 2019 study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that Kegel exercises increased pelvic blood flow by 20% in men, improving both erectile function and overall pelvic health. Another study from the American Journal of Cardiology in 2020 showed that regular low-impact cardio, like swimming, boosted circulation throughout the body, including the pelvic region, by up to 15%. These findings confirm that exercises like squats, Kegels, and swimming aren't just good for your heart. They're a direct line to supporting your testicular health and keeping your hormones in balance. Have you tried Kegels before? Or maybe you're thinking about hitting the pool. Let me know how it's gone for you in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences, and it might inspire someone else to give it a try. Here's a quick tip for Kegels if you're not sure you're targeting the right muscle. Try stopping your urine flow next time you're in the bathroom. That's the exact squeeze you're aiming for. These exercises are like a gift to your body, boosting blood flow and keeping your testicles healthy in a gentle, natural way. Next, we're going to wrap up with a powerful story and some steps to tie everything together, so you can take charge of your health with confidence. Stay with me, because this is where it all comes together. As we come to the end of our conversation today, I want to take you back to John, the 67-year-old retired teacher from Ohio who sat in my office, his voice trembling with worry about the changes he'd noticed in his body. Like so many of you, John was carrying a quiet fear that his smaller testicle meant he was losing his vitality, his connection with his wife, maybe even a piece of who he was. But John's story didn't end with worry. After a simple blood test, we confirmed his testosterone was fine, but stress and a less than ideal diet were dragging him down. We worked together on a plan, adding zinc-rich foods like pumpkin seeds and lean beef, practicing Kegel exercises to boost pelvic health, and finding small ways to ease the stress of daily life, like taking evening walks with his wife, A few months later, John came back to my clinic, his eyes bright and his smile wide. "Dr. Cole," he said, "I feel like myself again. My wife and I are closer than ever." That spark in his voice, that renewed confidence, it's something you can feel, too. Your health is within your reach, and I'm here to help you take those steps. Let's bring together what we've learned today, because it's all about empowering you to feel strong and confident in your body. First, we've busted a big myth: the size of your testicles matters for fertility. But it's not the key to your testosterone levels. Larger testicles might produce more sperm, but testosterone depends on the efficiency of those tiny Leydig cells, not overall size. Second, if you've noticed your testicles shrinking, it could be a sign of something worth checking out, like a varicocele, stress, or a hormonal issue. Getting a checkup after age 40 with tests like a blood draw for testosterone or a semen analysis can catch these things early and set you on the right path. And third, you have the power to protect your testicular health with simple everyday habits. Eating foods rich in zinc, omega-3s, and vitamin D. Getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Staying active and managing stress can keep your testicle factory running smoothly. These aren't big, overwhelming changes, they're small, doable steps that add up to a healthier, more vibrant you. I know talking about these things can feel personal, even a little uncomfortable. It's easy to let fear or embarrassment stop you from taking action. But here's my gentle advice: don't let those feelings hold you back. A quick visit to your doctor or a simple test like a semen analysis can give you peace of mind and answers you can trust. You don't have to navigate this alone. Your healthcare provider is there to help. And so am I. Whether you're worried about fertility, energy, or just want to feel your best, taking that first step is like opening a door to a stronger, more confident version of yourself. You deserve to feel good in your body, and these small actions can make that happen. If this video has helped you understand your body a little better, or given you a nudge to take care of your health, I'd love for you to give it a like. It helps others find this information. 2. Subscribe to the channel for more straightforward, compassionate health tips. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video, where we'll dive into natural ways to boost intimacy and connection in your relationships. I'd also love to hear from you. What's one change you're thinking about trying this week? Maybe it's adding a zinc-rich snack, doing a few Kegels, or scheduling that doctor's visit. Drop a comment below. Your story might inspire someone else to take that step. I read every comment, and I'm cheering you on. Your health is your strength, and it's never too late to take care of it. Stay curious, stay proactive, and know that you're not alone on this journey. I'm Dr. Hannah Cole, and I'll see you in the next video with more ways to help you live your healthiest, most vibrant life. Take care, and keep shining.